Welcome back to part 3 of my Brickley Park MOC. In this video, I'll try and move the MOC on to focus on areas that are still outstanding. So that's looking at the pavement at the front, you can see, which I've turned around the MOC so you can see that better, but also possibly where to put the trees, and also some of the areas around the back and the edges to fill in. Let's see where we get to. So I'm going to start off with working on the front pavement area here. And this will be where another MOC will be butted up against the side of this here. So I've removed all the grey tiles from this area. And the first thing I'm thinking is, does an actual bench belong there? And I'm saying that because it's not actually inside the park, it's outside. So the first thing is to consider, actually, should this go on the other side of that fence? And how does that look up against the other thing that's there? But let's see how that all works out in practice. Progress has been made. I've used practically all grey tiles for the pavement area coming into the park, which I was worried about when I first started up, but I actually think it looks fine because I've added in all these 1x1 variant pieces throughout, which helps create the effect of following what the path is throughout the park of cobblestones. I've put a bin here, a small light. I've reduced the fence length and put the traditional lamppost there. And as I was thinking about, I put the bench behind the fence to make it look like it's in the park, and that's what we have. And I've continued to use the 1x1 tiles, or the variant of all the different types, along there on the grass green area, and I think that looks really, really good. So I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I think it fits really well and fading into what the path area is around the herbology garden here. As we go across more other areas, it just looks like it feeds nicely into the park. Now on to the trees. There are 3 big trees that have been added to the park now. So the first one is here, and that is just made up more of these big brown trunks here. Then there's one tree which is here, and that's on the little green area to the side of the canal running through the park. And you've got the big tree there, just at the edge of the grass, right up against the bed of the canal. And it looks better from above. From here it looks not so great because it looks as flat as a pancake there. But I'm never going to really see it from this angle. If you look back here, I feel that looks really, really nice. Especially when you look at it from all different angles. That just adds another layer of detail to the park, which fits really, really well. You have another small tree just up this side next to the flower shop and right up against the bench. And again, it's just a nice small detail there. As you probably noticed, there are some trees already installed by the park entrance. But I think that's a good fit there as well. You've got more plants, as already shown, outside the plant cafe. So some nice additions to the park. One of the biggest challenges now is to try and get the flower mural wall fitted in right at the back along there with a possible wall coming down the side. So big challenge coming, but let's see if we can get this into the park to really finish it off well, and then I can add the final bits of detail with minifigures, just like we have already down here. Finally, we have minifigures and a wall with the flower mural in the park. And this has turned out exactly how I'd hoped. It is walled off from end to end and does go around to the edge of the canal here with a little archway through, which will go against the wall. The flower mural with the heart in the center is not actually in the center of this little section here where the benches are, but I wanted it to be going up right up against the plant cafe there, and it does fit really well. And you know what? It doesn't have to be symmetrical. It fits in, and it still looks really good to me. I've put other details in, like with squirrels around the place. There's now little scenes with dog minifigures and dogs there. There's someone working out there. There is someone in the plant, or flower shop, I should say, just in there, but you can't really see it. And there's just friends talking in the center, another squirrel, and a cat. Figures there coming in. Another figure coming out of the cafe. Then we have more figures just down this part here, which is cool. Some figures are struggling to go across the stepping stones across the canal. And someone else looks like they're up to something. And we still have, as it was before and as I showed in the first video, the scene of a picnic with an engagement happening. And there's another thing which I added as I was working on the wall and completing it. And that is just on the end here, there's a door. It's kind of a secret door. And I thought it would just be good instead of just adding profile bricks right to the end, because it was a 4-stud wide space. So I thought, why not add a door? Because where it goes up against will be there. Yeah, there we are. It would just go up against there. And it almost looks like it's a secret way to get into the tracks where the trains are. For whatever reason, engineers or other such people do maintenance on that. So I thought that was a nice little touch to add that inside, and there is still a way you can technically get, or a figure can get in there just by going around the seating. But that looks really good to finish off this MOC now. And now let's put it in place. So here is the first of my MOCs redone and placed in the new space in Brickley. And I think that looks really, really good. I'm so glad I've taken the time to go through all this detail and redo it again. The park looks even better than it did before. And especially with adding these two sets in, it just really, really helped the area pop. And having little things which I had before, such as, obviously I've said, the flower mural wall, the scene right here with the engagement, the stepping stones across the canal, and then just lowering the level here for the water. I think that's definitely something I want to do for other MOCs And one of the next ones will be the beach to redo in a similar fashion, to have different kind of like levels with water, sand, and pavement. But I think that works really well. The only thing that doesn't go so well is the fact that the wall here doesn't go as high to the top here. But I kind of knew that when I was building the wall. But then I thought, well, otherwise, do I really need to go up that high? Because then it's just a giant wall. And so I decided not to bother with that. It's a slight annoyance because you do see the legs underneath there, but the trade-off is the fact that I still think it looks really nice just as it is. And then it doesn't look like there's just a giant wall around the park, even though there is. But if there was just a wall that went right around here, it would just feel like it's really, really enclosed off. Whereas being lower, which you would find in a normal park, I think it serves its purpose here. So that's my park walk redone. Thank you for watching, and we're around to see the next one. Thank you.